So children have a quiz on Monday over adding and subtracting fractions. So I promised them that I would give them a walkthrough of the odd numbers so that they can practice with the even numbers. So I first want to focus on the steps, and then we'll work through the problem. And then, so the first thing we want to do is turn the whole number into a fraction. So, for example, 6 would become 6 over 1. That's how we turn it into a fraction. Anything over 1 stays the same. So 6 divided by 1 is 6. Okay? So that is a rule I've taught them before, and that is that all fractions are division problems. Okay, so if you look at this, 6 divided by 1 is 6. So I don't change the number. Okay, so I would rewrite the whole thing. 6 over 1 minus 6 over 7. So the second step would be to match the denominator. Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 here and a 2 here. Okay, with subtracting and adding fractions, you cannot do it unless the bottom, which is the denominator, matches. Okay, so I'm going to label it here. And this is the numerator. I ran out of places to write it. Numerator, okay? So in order to match it, we look at these numbers. Sometimes you don't have to do both numbers, and I will show you a situation where we can do maybe both numbers, or if we can divide down, things like that, okay? So for this particular one, 1 can go into 7, so we don't even need to touch 7. So all we have to do is get that 1 to 7. So 1 times 7 would be 7. And so what I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. Okay, so remember, reminder. Okay, and this is for it to be equal. So 1 times 7 down here, so top, 6 times 7. So I did the exact same thing I did to the bottom to the top. So then I like to rewrite it because it gets a little bit messy. So 6 times 7 is 42. And 1 times 7 is 7. Minus what? Minus 6 over 7. Okay? So then 42 minus 6 is 36 over 7. So, like I said, every fraction is a division problem. So we just divide it out. 36 divided by 7. And if you know your multiplication table, 7 times 5 is 35. Gives you a remainder of 1. So they turn that remainder into a new fraction. Remainder 1 out of what? 1 out of 7. So my answer is 517. Alright? So now that we know the steps, let's look at another one. 2 minus 12 over 13. So what's the first step? To turn it into a fraction. 2 over 1 minus 12 over 13. Second step, match. So I just need to go 1 times 13. And what I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 2 times 13 is 26. 1 times 13 is 13. And then minus what? Minus 12 over 13. So 26 minus 12 is 14 over 13. And then 14 divided by 13. And sometimes I say, how many 13s can you fit into 14? And they'll say 1. What do you do after you take that 13 out of 14? What's left? 1. So this is the same thing. So it goes into there 1 time, and you take away 13. Remainder is 1 out of 13. So 1, 1, 13. Okay. So, again, 7 over 1. How did I get that? I made this into a fraction. 7 divided by 1 is 7. So 7 over 1 minus 4 over 27 equals, and so times 27 times 27. Okay? So this is not something they would be able to do with mental math, so I like to just do it over here. So 27 times 7 is 49. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 4 is 8. So 189 over 27 minus 4 over 27, which will become 185 over 27. And so then I just do my division. 185, 27. Okay? So this is where estimation will help you a lot. So this is almost 30. And 30 can fit into almost 180, maybe 6 times. So I'm going to start off with 6. 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. Okay? So I know that if I add 20 to this, it would already get close to this. So if I add almost 30 to this, it would be over 185. So I don't need to try more. So let's try this. 162. So the remainder is 3, 2. So remainder is 23. So 6 and 23 over 27. So most of the time I would try to look for, like, if I can reduce it, but I know that 23 is a prime number, so I don't need to. But most of the time, like I said, you would try at least to divide it by 2 and 3, see if you can get a number out. Okay, so let's skip down to 7. First step, turn it into a fraction, minus 2/3. Second step, get the bottom to match. So times 3 times 3. Rewrite it. 12 over 3 minus 2 over 3 equals 10 over 3. 10 divided by 3 goes into it 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So remainder is 1 out of 3. Where do I get that out of? Because what am I dividing by? So my answer is 3 1/3. Okay? So last one. 5 3/4. Turn it into a fraction. 5 over 1 minus 3/4. Get it to match. Times 4 times 4. Rewrite it. 20 over 4 minus 3 over 4. 20 minus 3 is 17, and the denominator stays the same. So then, 17 divided by 4. Using mental math, they should know 4 times 4 is already 16. So remainder is 1 out of 4. So 4 1/4. Okay, so if you need any help on the other one, just give me a message and I'll talk you through it. Also, I wanted to point out this one. This one is 12/26. So even before I try to rewrite it and do the over fraction things, I can reduce this one. This one can be reduced to 6/13. So when I rewrite it, 6/1 minus 6/13, I can just make the denominator into 13 instead of a big number like 26. So I hope this helps you, and I'll start recording the other one